The night before Jeffree posted that tweet, I went on stage and I said some stupid shit about Jeffree. He was really upset about that. Of course, everyone knows when you piss off Jeffree Star or any, shit with Jeffree, he gets pretty vile. He gets pretty angry and he'll tweet some fucked up shit and he'll try to get his fan base rallied up and to go and attack people.
Kids, you're both just awful.
So since we're talking about makeup gurus today, I figured I'd wear my most obnoxious look that I can come up with, and here you have it. I'm a giant mistake. Let's continue the video. There's one thing I want to make abundantly clear before we begin this video. A lot of people keep saying, why are we focusing on Jeffree Star right now? Why are we not focusing on Dahvie Vanity? We should be making Dahvie Vanity the primary focus of this situation. And I agree, we should be making Dahvie Vanity the primary focus of this situation. That is why, behind the scenes, I have been contacting the FBI.
We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
I have been doing a lot of work to try and help this situation as much as possible. I have made a full video on Dahvie Vanity a month ago talking about why he is a scumbag, and I will continue to do that. I will continue to talk about him and other people involved in this, not just Jeffree. So if you have no idea what's going on, I'll quickly summarize it for you. In 2010, Jeffree Star has made multiple tweets accusing Dahvie Vanity of displaying predatory behavior and being a child molester, claiming he no longer supported him and anybody who does supports child molestation. In 2011, Jeffree began working with and supporting Dahvie Vanity again all the way up until 2014. This can be seen as repetitive behavior, as last year he called James Charles a predator and then recently tried to give him public compliments. I have made a video discussing this in greater detail, as well as an entire video covering Dahvie. Both will be linked below. So, the aftermath. Jeffree has received a lot of backlash since this information has surfaced. So much so that he decided to go on Chris Hansen's livestream and Keemstar's podcast. This video is to discuss many, but not all, of the times that Jeffree has contradicted himself into these past two streams. I want to start out with something that wasn't even brought up on the streams. Jeffree went into the inbox of a drama channel, Paige, claiming that the tweets referenced by many criticizing him were photoshopped. Later, on both Chris's stream and Mom's Basement, he addresses that he in fact did send these tweets. We're already off to a great start. So Jeffree claims that he didn't actually see anything illegal happen, that when he said we, he was actually referring to other people.
I mean, that's such a misleading tweet, isn't it? That's so misleading.
Which part?
No? We saw Dahvie bring underage girls to his hotel rooms and do things 100% illegal. Of course, people are going to interpret that as you seeing that with your own eyes.
Oh, of course. So 10 years later, I'm telling people, did I see a crime or anything actual illegal? No. Other people did and told me that at the time, and then it was not proven. 4 children themselves, a grown mother, as his band members say, Jeffree, I've been in his world for years, and I've lived on the tour bus, and I've never seen anything. So that's why I did the last tour. Did I ever actually see anything? No. So my tweets were other people saying that. Or maybe I'm saying it wrong.
He's using the first person plural, like we.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Because at that time,
the thing too about situations like this, go ahead.
But because when I said we, there was people, my old dancer and assistant Daniel, he tweeted out a bunch of stuff, and other bands on the tour, and people in the music scene, literally all the people like Taking Back Sunday and those Warped Tour bands, they all thought he was really creepy, and there was just a bunch of he said, she said, and there was never any actual real proof back then.
Funny, because when somebody says the word we, it usually means that they are including themselves in a statement. If you weren't including yourself, why didn't you use the word they instead? Then you are upset that people are under the impression that you have seen something. These were your words. Now this one is unrelated. Jeffree Star went on a tangent about how people were claiming that he was a liar for saying he's never drank before in his life.
Never tried alcohol before. I know that's gonna seem shocking to some people. I think I've never sipped a beer, never tried wine, not into drugs, not into alcohol. Yeah, which people don't believe. I've never tried a beer, never tried alcohol before.
What?
Never tried wine. Because I don't drink alcohol, I don't get wasted. My family comes from a long line of addicts, so I chose to never drink at a really young age. I've stuck to it, I don't see the point in it now. I have never tried alcohol before. I know that's gonna seem shocking to some people. I've stuck to it, I don't see the point in it now. Never tried wine. Not drinking is something that I am proud of. I don't party, and what I mean by partying is, you guys, is I don't drink alcohol, I don't get wasted. I have never tried alcohol before. My family comes from a long line of addicts. not drinking is something that I am proud of.
He claims that he has taken tons of photos pretending to drink, but claims that in reality he has never drank before. I can tell you, from somebody who actually doesn't drink, this is the dumbest thing to lie about. He was either going completely out of his way to lie about drinking back in the day, or he is lying about not drinking now. Either way, he lied. And while this isn't as serious as the other contradictions in this video, it points out a pattern that reflects his credibility. But that's okay, because he even called himself a liar on Mom's basement.
Here's the problem. Jeffree Star back in the day used to tweet and lie about a bunch of shit. Not just about Jack Daniels. I also tweeted about allegedly sending band guys nudes to him to then use for revenge, which I never did, but I did lie about it 100%. I used to say things all the time like that.
My favorite is when he began discrediting Damien, otherwise known as Jesse Slaughter, claiming how he doesn't remember them.
You know, there is a survivor that has went on record saying, hey, Jeffree and his friends were present during me being there in these times. And 10 years ago, I don't remember that person, and I'm not going to pretend to follow a narrative of what people want me to say that I saw.
Meanwhile, there are tweets of him making fun of Damien with the "you done goofed" meme. Also, despite not remembering them, Jeffree suddenly recalled a crystally clear memory of when Damien's mom allegedly dropped them off at a Blood on the Dance Floor concert late at night while they were 11 years old.
One person has said that they saw me in an environment where they were alone with him and kissing, and I'm like, you guys, absolutely not. And this person, you guys, it's so dark. This person, their mother dropped them off at 11 years old to hang out with rock stars and party and drink.
Man.
I wasn't around that environment. Hi, you have Tav in the room. I don't party. I kept to myself and I did my own thing.
What's interesting to note is that it's not just Jeffree's word against Damien's word. It's also Jeffree's word against Jeffree's word. What else is just hysterically hypocritical is that you have Jeffree Star on Chris Hansen's live stream complaining about drama channels profiting on this.
No offense or shade to what we call them drama channels, Chris, in the YouTube world, or people that report news. A lot of people do not have great intentions. A lot of people are making money off of this story, and I think that's wrong.
While Chris Hansen is pulling hundreds of dollars in donations. It's literally right there. Also, as others have pointed out, he is dragging drama channels right now because he's in the spotlight, but I don't recall him complaining when he was using drama channels to his benefit. Jeffree then deflects and says,
why is no one calling the tour manager that helped him facilitate all these things? Where's the assistant? Where's the merch girls that knew all these things were allegedly going on? Like, he had a whole crew of people that protected him.
Yeah.
And only one or two of them have gone on record and said, yeah, I've seen some weird shit.
Merch girls, yeah, nice subtle victim blaming there. Can anybody point me into the direction of a tweet or a statement made by anybody else who has called Dahvie Vanity a child and then continued to work with them again?
You can continue to say, everybody is blaming me for what Dahvie Vanity has done. Nobody has blamed you for Dahvie's crimes. Point me in the direction of any quote, anybody saying that it's your fault that Dahvie has done this. Dahvie was your responsibility and you failed. You could have prevented people in the future from being abused by Dahvie if you knew about it, which you claimed you did, and now you're saying you didn't. The reason why everybody is upset with you right now is because you, out of everybody else who allegedly had seen him do something terrible, you were the one that stepped up and said something publicly and then went back on it a year later. You were the one who made a tweet saying, we saw Dahvie Vanity doing things that were 100% illegal. You said that. You were the one that put his feet to the fire. You were the one that said, this is a child molester. Don't support him. If you support him, you support child molestation. I didn't say that. You did. You brought this upon yourself. It's your goddamn mistake. It is not our mistake for holding you accountable for it.
And then we have multiple clips of Jeffree again claiming that drama channels are only focusing on him and not focusing on helping the victims, as he says.
Of all these people have knowledge, and you're trying to drag up old footage to re-cancel Jeffree Star for the 10th time, and this man is sitting there actively probably texting minors. That's what's fucking me up in the head, and I don't get it.
If anything, by admitting you actually didn't see anything and discrediting Damien, you could have ruined this entire investigation. Meanwhile, Repzilla, Creepshow Art, other channels, as well as myself, have been busting our asses trying everything we can to support this case both publicly and behind the scenes. I know you're a rich, famous internet celebrity, Jeffree, but that's not why people are upset about your tweets. People are holding you accountable for your mistakes, and they're pointing out that what you did was f***ed up. People are also upset because these tweets correlate with another serious allegation that's more recent. That's right, it's time for Dramageddon 2 Round 2, everybody.
Is James Charles a danger to society? Is he a predator?
Keem.
That was a long pause.
It's a scary subject. It's just not someone saying this is an entire crime. It's just people told us some things. And I don't know until this day if they're true, because they shut up and got quiet when the whole world and CNN cared about James, Tati, Jeffree.
It's the same scenario though, because like if James is actually a danger, right? Then this is the opportunity, like the Dahvie thing, where you can say something. You know what I mean? Or is like maybe you shouldn't have put that tweet out. Like which one is it? Like I'm sorry, Jeffree, but I have to ask.
No, I'm 100% comfortable with that. It's going to upset a lot of people, but the truth is that someone, and right now I legally can't say who, told us a few things, and we trusted that person's opinion. And then another person said some things that was friends with that man, and it really convinced us that he was better.
Is this another case of what happened before with the other guy?
No, this is some.
Is there a possibility of that? Because I mean, they were telling you about this guy, which turned out to be true now. Is this possible with James?
Go ahead. But because when I said we, there was people, my old dancer and assistant Daniel, he tweeted out a bunch of stuff, and other bands on the tour, and people in the music scene, like literally like all the people like Taking Back Sunday and those Warped Tour bands, they all thought he was really creepy, and there was just a bunch of he said, she said, and there was never any actual real proof back then.
You lost all of your credibility for calling anybody anything. One other thing I would like to add is when he alluded to the idea that he had a testimony of a potential victim of James Charles, he never said anything about taking that information to authority. He never said anything about that.
You do have a testimony from an alleged victim in your possession. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he does. That's what he said.
Right.
But listen, Jeffree, look.
Oh my lord.
You know what he did? He came out online and supported Tati when it was convenient for him, and he drugged James's name through the mud in what became the largest to date unsubscribing event in history. Yet he wants to blame Tati for it. There's so much information, and I'm so angered by it. So much so that little Bub over here wants to come and help calm me down. Hey, Snuggie. Good boy. Good boy, you're such a good boy. Oh, there he is. Forgive me for being heated about this. I don't take liars well. There are so many things in this podcast, this one alone, not even including the one with Chris Hansen, which makes me question every ounce of integrity Jeffree Star has.